I even had to have a talk with them prior to us returning back to the pool that we already go to on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So you're saying that even they're even questioning whether they want to go to a different pool, not the Valley Swim Club?
Absolutely, definitely not the Valley Swim Club.
Yeah, you said I guess they reached out to you guys and they said it was a misunderstanding. They would like you guys to come back. As I understand it, the club president, John Dusler, tried to contact you.
Excuse me 1 second. You said that they reached out to me and asked me to come back to the club?
Yes. That didn't happen?
That's not true. That did not happen.
What happened?
The only thing I've received is a text message and an email stating to call. We have not been welcomed back to the club. My attorneys have not received any written invitation for us to come back. The only thing I've heard has been third party via media or via what you just said.
All right. I guess this is what John Dusler said, and we did invite them to come on the program as well. They have an open invitation if they'd like to. They did not accept that invitation this morning, but apparently his quote is, "This is the saddest week of my life. Everything I stand for and everything this club represents has been turned on its head." Is there any type of room for reconciliation, or do you guys think it's best handled in the courts?
Well, I don't know if John Dusler has said it to the media, but I definitely offered for us to try to come to a resolution when these derogatory comments were made to the children. And I was told after their board meeting with the members as well as the board, the members of the club, that he stated to me that their decision was let the chips fall where they may.
Carolyn, I want to ask you about this lawsuit against Valley Swim Club that you plan to file. What specifically are you going to be asking for in this suit?
Well, specifically, the lawsuit will be based on violations of Title II of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which relates to the denial of access and use and advantages of a public accommodation, meaning that the swimming pool is open to, accepts, and solicits patronage from the general public. So that's kind of the primary federal claim. And of course, as you've heard Alethea talk about, you know, the humiliation and embarrassment and the scarring and suffering of the children, that would be covered by our claim for compensatory damages. We're also seeking injunctive relief, cease and desist, the bigoted comments and the discrimination, as well as punitive damages to punish the club for the harm that they've done to the children.
Alethea, do you believe the revised comments, I guess you could say, in the days that followed, where they said it was not about race, it was a big misunderstanding, it had to do with overcrowding, and that they asked 2 other day camps that are not predominantly minority day camps to also not come because they didn't anticipate that it was going to be so crowded?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm baffled about exactly what is the problem other than race, because first it was the complexion and the atmosphere. The club may change. Then then it was a space issue, but when Vernon Odom showed the size of the pool, then it became a safety issue. They have not just one pool, but 2 pools. And one pool is a 110,000-gallon pool, and the other pool is a 1-foot pool for non-swimmers. And he had 3 to 4 lifeguards, and I had 8 staff members, and my son's school was just there the week before with 56 children. So I'm baffled as to why would we be invited back if that statement is true, unless he added extra footage to the pool since we last was there. Why couldn't this have been resolved when I requested humbly? I begged John Dusler for this to be resolved prior to even getting to this point.
That's interesting. And also, I want to ask you about this, Carolyn. The Philadelphia Inquirer did a little bit of research and looking at tax records, et cetera, of this swim pool. And they said that if a lawsuit went forward, it could actually cost the club more money than they have and possibly leave board members liable if there are indeed civil rights verdicts. What do you think about the possibility that this could lead to them closing?
Well, that's always a possibility. You know, I can't sit here and say, you know, what a court will do and how a proceeding will resolve. But all we're saying is that we're going to go forward through the process. Of course, as you know, in a court, in a lawsuit, you know, there's always conferences and discussions about how to resolve a matter. So, you know, we can't sit here today and say that it's a fact that the club will go out of business just
Right.
because we're going forward with filing a civil rights action.
All right, and finally, I just quickly, Alethea, there's been so much attention brought to this. One columnist in the Philadelphia Inquirer said, if I were you or if I were the kids, I'd, with my head held high, stride right up to the Valley Club, do a big belly flop right in the pool to show that forgiveness is a powerful thing and to show that I may not be as threatening as they think I am. Is this a, quote, teachable moment, as we've heard before, for both the kids and the club members?
I think this is a teachable moment for the entire world, because we're in the year of 2009, and we're trying to move forward and come together as a country, and it is just no time. We definitely want everyone to come out a winner in this situation, because there's a lesson that definitely needs to be learned, and there's something that we need to come together on the racism. Racism needs to be completely extinguished out of the Valley Swim Club.
Right. Alethea Wright, Director of Creative Steps, and Carolyn Nichols, lawyer for the camp. I want to thank both of you guys for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we also want to know what you think. Should Creative Steps take the swim club to court? What do you think about this case? Email us, cnn.com/AMFix. You can also call our show hotline. It's 877-MY-AM-FIX.